Basil faulty, picking on poor Manuel. But like most comedians, he's got a much more serious side to him. Not only has he just starred in a party political, it says it all down here,
He doesn't believe a word you're saying.
party political broadcast, but he's made his name in industrial training films too.
Sorry? Decision day. I've got the order form. Just need your say-so, and away we go. Okay, let's get this show on the road then. Here we are. Now,
Ducker hates having to make a decision on his own responsibility. He's always looking for something to hide behind.
Who do you sell these to? I know you've won lots of awards with them, but who do you sell them to?
Well, almost anyone, any kind of organisation, because it's not just business, it's civil service and armed forces. And
They're not as incompetent as the next one, are they?
well, I think most of the things we teach are actually a damn sight more difficult to do than people probably think the day that they walk into the job. I mean, if you just take something like selling across a counter, it's a very great skill. And once you've actually made a couple of training films about it and talked to the people who teach it, you begin to appreciate when you go into shops that not many people really know how to do it very well. So that almost any of these skills, if they're really studied and taken seriously, can, I should think, give people great satisfaction to exercise.
Why did you get involved in them? Because I know you've got, is it 70 films now you've made altogether?
Yeah, something like that.
It's a lot,
I think I've been
isn't it?
about 50, and we distribute some American ones, and then there's a lot we've made for sponsored films for other people. I originally got into it because Tony J said to me, there is no way that we can't make training films that are 10% less boring than the ones on the market. So I said, well, let's do it. And then he said, the nice thing is that in a few years' time we'll sell the company, and then we'll have a year in which we can write our novel or read our books or do something nice and leisureful. And in fact, of course, the trouble is you get interested in it, and then you never sell it.
These films are shown largely at conferences, which are very serious affairs.
Not really conferences,
Oh,
Frank. No, they are shown at conferences.
I've seen them at many conferences.
Yeah, but the real way that they're used is with a training officer standing up in the room in the particular organisation where the training is done, and he has an hour to teach something. A 2-minute introduction, he shows the film, and then a 32-minute discussion.
But I just wonder whether it's a terrific opportunity to see a very funny piece of light relief by John Cleese, and
it's
not
partly,
really a very serious...
At conferences, I'm sure that that's true, but I think in the training context, it's not that at all. It's absolutely straight training. Except, you see, the thing is, how do you use humour? Because this is what people are always scared about. And the answer,
will they remember the jokes, or will they take the points they're trying to make?
Exactly. Well, what we noticed when we first came into the business is that most people wrote straight scripts with all the training points in, and then gave it to a comedy writer who put 12 jokes in. And that was disastrous, because if you remember the joke, you had no idea what the training points were. And we realized that if the jokes actually were constructed around the training points, which is very easy to do, because if you show people doing the job wrongly, you can make it funny, especially to people who know all about the job, who actually pick up the subtleties too. And that way, if they laugh, they're actually learning the training point at the moment they laugh. And then maybe when they start doing the job themselves and they start doing something that they just laughed at the film the day before, something sort of just stops and they think, wait a moment.
There's one saving grace, I suppose, and that is that they're as successful in America as they are in this country. Presumably Americans are just as bad at selling things as we are.
No, I think Americans are better, because I think the English think it's vulgar.
Oh, do they?
Don't you?
I agree. I agree.
I think we've, yeah.
I mean, we have to start to survive. It is the one prime thing that we need to do, isn't it?
Yeah. And I think that it's very deep in our culture that almost anything to do with money is slightly vulgar.
The travelling salesman is a kind of derogatory remark, isn't it?
That's right, yeah.
Commercial hotels, all those kind of old things which are kind of demeaning to the salesman.
That's right. I think we just got to change our attitude and see that that was fine when we were all living on big estates working for the local law, but it just doesn't work now.
Okay, well, after that, John Cleese, thank you very much. I'm going to talk to you a little bit later on about being in America. We've got Arlene Phillips coming in a little later on.
You know she choreographed The Meaning of Life?
No, I didn't know that.
Python.
Did she?
No, I didn't have to make him dance. No, I didn't. But we had, 150 people in that.
Huge.
Yeah, it was huge at the end of the film.
You both of you involved in America just now. You in a business sense, and Arlene in a theatrical one, going over there to try and teach people, audition for people for Starlight Express. Have you ever thought, either of you, of living there, moving there to live permanently?
Not really.
I mean, look at that!
yourself! No! No! Talk to Andre first! Tell him we need another one!
That's amazing. I mean, when you think that after Python you had to find something else and that was it, that is...
Yeah, we were very lucky, because Connie and I had no idea what we were going to write. We thought we'd write something that might amuse 5 million people on BBC Two. But that's got my favourite moment of all the faulty shows, when he goes down to the restaurant again and gets another platter which he thinks has a duck on it, and he comes back and he takes it off in front of the guests, having announced it as the duck, and it's this terrible pink blancmange.
Where is Basil Fawlty? Is there a Basil Fawlty?
Oh, yes, there was a guy that he was based on who was really very like Basil, except he was small and had an enormous wife, which obviously we couldn't do for physical reasons. But it was quite good, because I was big and Prue was small. People didn't really spot it was just the hen-pecked husband.
OK, well, we've got somebody else over here who can murder a duck pretty effectively. Glyn, Glyn, are you there?
I'm here.
What are you doing? Is it crispy duck this morning?